Buried in a Flare governance proposal that goes live for voting in 8 days is a single sentence that most crypto creators completely missed. Flare is admitting that their own upgrade unintentionally broke FLR demand. The fix is the most aggressive tokenomics rewrite of any major L1 in 2026. 40% inflation cut, 20 times gas fee hike, 300 million FLR annual burn floor, protocol level MEV capture, first of its kind, and a new treasury called Fire that has zero automation and is effectively foundation controlled for years. Here's the full picture of FIP16. FIP16 was drafted March 27th. Notice period opens today, April 9th. Voting runs April 17th through 24th. 3 weeks from draft to vote for the biggest tokenomics overhaul since FIP01. The author is listed as just Flare Foundation, no individual name. The numbers. Inflation drops from 5% to 3%, a 40% cut. Base gas fee goes from 25 gwei to 500 gwei, 20 times higher. Hard annual cap drops from 5 billion FLR to 3 billion. The headline number. Projected burn is around 300 million FLR per year, up from just 7.5 million in the last 6 months, a 40 times jump. Here's what most coverage missed. The proposal states 300 million is a zero ecosystem growth floor, not a ceiling. Upside could be materially higher. And here's the confession, verbatim from the proposal. Quote, making F assets safer through stablecoin collateral and more capital efficient via the core vault unintentionally reduced FLR's role in the ecosystem. Flare is admitting their own F assets core vault upgrade broke FLR demand. The entire proposal is a fix for a problem Flare created itself. FIRE stands for Flare Income Reinvestment Entity, a brand new protocol treasury. Primary mandate, reduce FLR token supply as far as possible. Funded by 90% of Flare data connector attestation fees, F assets minting fees, a new 1,000 FLR XRPL destination tag registration fee, and all captured MEV. Here's the nugget nobody's talking about. Fire has zero automation specified. None. No time-weighted average price. No chainlink keeper. No oracle. No slippage rules. The proposal just says Fire will buy FLR on the open market and either burn it or use it for other purposes. Compare that to other L1 treasuries. Maker burns MKR algorithmically. Arbitrum uses TWAP buybacks. Ethereum burns base fees at the protocol level. Optimism uses community-voted retro public goods. Flare Fire is manual foundation discretion, the most centralized treasury design of any major L1 in 2026. Governance. Day 1. The Flare Foundation unilaterally controls Fire. The path to joint governance requires 50% of total inflatable FLR supply voting yes. FIP01 passed with 17% turnout. 50% is mathematically effectively unreachable. Fire is permanently foundation controlled in practice. And the phrase, or used for other purposes, leaves the door open for grants, salaries, or ecosystem incentives. Fire is not a pure burn mechanism. Flare is the first major L1 to enshrine MEV capture at the protocol level. Not flashbots, not MEV boost, a ground-up design rolling out in 3 stages. Stage 1, a single Fire-designated builder. Validator nodes fetch blocks built by one foundation-run entity. Yes, one entity building all blocks. Maximum centralization at Stage 1. Stage 2, block building moves inside Flare confidential compute. Trusted execution environments like Intel SGX enclaves. The algorithm becomes partially public. But Stage 2 depends on Flare 2.0 shipping in Q3. So for most of this year, We're stuck in stage 1. Stage 3. Unified Builder Proposer. Technical details TBD. What MEV is allowed? 4 categories on the permitted list: lending liquidations, atomic DEX arbitrage, just-in-time liquidity, and post-trade arbitrage on flare DEXs. Here's the gap. Sandwich attacks and front-running are banned only by implication. The proposal doesn't enumerate them. And who governs the permitted list going forward? Not token holders. The FTSO Management Group, a small set of vetted data providers. The upside math. Q1 already produced 660,000 cyclic ARB transactions on Flare. Ethereum captures $200 to $500 million a year in MEV. Flare's current inflation cost is around $43 million. If Flare captures even 10% of Ethereum scale MEV proportionally, fire buybacks could dominate FLR price action. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Ripple launched its own EVM sidechain on June 30th, 2025, built by Ripple plus Persist plus Axelar, running on the EVMOS stack. That means Flare is now competing with Ripple's own official EVM path. FIP16's aggressive moves can be partially read as a defensive response, but FXRP demand numbers are real. Over 150 million FXRP in circulation, 85% actively deployed in DeFi, TVL of 160 million narrow, 400 million broad, around 5,400 unique FXRP holders. And here's the wild stat. 98% of those holders were DeFi first-timers. F-Assets is an onboarding engine for XRP holders into DeFi. Firelight is the STXRP liquid staking protocol. Their 50 million XRP supply cap filled in 6 hours. Whale deposits of 1 million plus XRP each. Xaman's one-click FXRP vault. 25 million cap filled in 1 week. Hex Trust added institutional custody in February. Hyperliquid launched the FXRP/USDH spot market in January. Morpho and Mystic launched the first modular lending for XRP in February. Hugo Fillion's stake in the ground quote, "I genuinely think we could get to 5 billion XRP by the middle of 2026 with a good tailwind." Critical distinction. He means XRP staked via Flare, not just FXRP minted. And Bitcoin support is targeted for end of 2026, depending on Flare 2.0 shipping. First, the FIP01 precedent from January 2023. It passed with 93% in favor, but only 17% voter turnout. David Schwartz, Ripple's CTO, publicly criticized it. He said Flare used and abandoned the XRP community. He tweeted, "You lose nothing if you sell FLR now." The FIP16 vote opens April 17th. This history primes everyone to watch turnout closely. Now the founders, nobody profiles properly. Hugo Fillion, the CEO, bachelor's in investment and financial risk management from Cass Business School, master's in machine learning at UCL. Before Flare, he was a commodity derivatives portfolio manager at $2 billion plus hedge funds. He's a trader first, engineer second. Almost nobody emphasizes this. Sean Rowan, the chief product officer, master's in computer science and machine learning from UCL. And here's the one nobody mentions, Nairi Usher, chief scientist, PhD in quantum computing from UCL, postdoc in quantum machine learning, published archive research on image classification using D-Wave quantum hardware, collaborated with Siemens on quantum algorithms. Flare's chief scientist is a working quantum physicist, and it explains why a Flare 2.0 roadmap that depends on trusted execution environments makes technical sense. The final Flare drop hit January 30th, ending 36 months of FIP01 era dilution. Total 24.2 billion FLR distributed. FIP16 is the value accrual era. The people running it are a commodities trader, a machine learning engineer, and a quantum physicist. And they have 8 days until the vote opens. Look, FIP16 is a confession wrapped in a restructure. Flare is saying their own success hurt their token. The fix is aggressive. 40% inflation cut, 20 times gas fee, 300 million burn floor, protocol level MEV. But Fire is foundation controlled in practice. Ripple launched its own competing EVM, and the 50% threshold to decentralize the Treasury is mathematically unreachable. The paradox is that the most ambitious L1 tokenomics rewrite of 2026 might also be the most centralized. The vote opens April 17th. If this changed how you think about FLR, hit subscribe. Drop a comment. Do you think FIP16 passes? And is Fire's zero automation design a deal breaker or a pragmatic choice? Notion link with every source is in the description. See you in the next one.